Hello friend, this is Arnab Banerjee. Today it is for the fourth class of design pattern. Okay, our topic will be on factor design pattern. For this pattern, I am not going to start with the theoretical part because first I need to know why the factory pattern design pattern has been born. Because in which situation I should apply. Okay, so to study that, we need to start with a problem. Okay, so now you can see my code, which is my problem. Actually this code is divided in two parts. One is library part, another is client part. You can see the client classes, it is the client part, and the first part is the library part. Now in the library part I have one abstract class named car, and in the car we have one method which is show car, and I have two derived classes. One is two-wheeler car, three-wheeler car, and I am going to override this method in both of classes. And in the two-wheeler car I will going to print the please welcome two-wheeler car, and in the three-wheeler car I am going to print the three-wheeler car please welcome three-wheeler car. So now I am going to the client side. In the client side I have one class which is user class, and in the constructor I am just checking the user input. If it is 2, then I will return the two-wheeler car object, and if it is 3, then I will return the three-wheeler car object. Okay, so now I have another method which is get car. It will return the particular object that is returned by the constructor. And now the main method where I will call the user class, and through the user class object I will call the get car method. Get car will return the car object, and through the car object I will call the show car, and show car will print the string that is already defined there. So now I will see the output. Okay, output is please welcome two-wheeler car, because I am passing the 2 input in the as a parameter. Okay, so because I have the user class as parameterized constructor, and so I am calling the parameterized constructor, and I am passing the 2 input, and it is giving me the please welcome two-wheeler car. Fine. Now the problem is that if I need to add another class in the library part, four-wheeler car, okay, I will need to add the four-wheeler car, another class in the library part. Then what I will need to do? Let's see, I have another example I have written. Let's see, here I have added another class four-wheeler car in the library part, and now I will go to the client part. Okay, in the client part, in the user class constructor, I have to add another else part, because I need to check the user input for the four-wheeler car, because user input may be 4, then I should return the four-wheeler car object. So I need to add the another else part in the user constructor. Okay, so this is the code, and I know the code will run correctly. But the thing is this, the code that I have written, it is not a good code, because the practice, the writing practice, the code writing practice is not good. It is a bad practice, because whatever I have written the code, it is tightly coupled. Okay, uh, because you can see that if I need any change in the library section, then I should go for a change in the client section. So it is tightly coupled, but the current edge is just interested on the loosely coupled. Okay, that is why I need to change the code as in a way that if I need any change in the library part, my client part should not be affected. Should not be. We should, the client side should not get any change to perform the modification version of the library part. Okay. So let us see what you can do for the loosely coupled. Okay. So let us see what you can do to implement the loosely coupled. Okay. So now my code is same as the previous. The abstract class car, and two-wheeler car, three-wheeler car, and the four-wheeler car. And in the okay, the change that I have made in to implement the loosely coupled, I have added a class which is I have given name is as factory class, and in that class I just implement the checking of the user input. Okay, in my previous code, the if else checking was in the user constructor, user class constructor. Okay, that is why we had to make the changes in the user constructor. Okay, but now I am placing the checking in the additional class, which is named as factory class, and I am taking and here I have a method which is represent. represent car, and in the represent car I am passing the input, user input, and I am checking whether the input is 2. If it is 2, then I will return the two-wheeler car, and if it is 3, then I will return the three-wheeler car. Fine. Now next the all code. Now the next is user class. In the user class, what I am doing, I am calling the factory class and the represent car method, and I am passing the user input, and whatever the factory class is returning, it is returned by the user constructor, and whatever the user constructor is returning, it is returned by the get car, and the all code is the same as the previous. So now suppose I have another change and I have to add like 5-wheeler, 6-wheeler car. Okay, so what I will do, I will add a new class as 6-wheeler car here, and I will add another if else if part, else if checking in the factory class. Okay, and the factory class is in the library part, and look, in the client part I have nothing to change. So now this is loosely coupled, and now whatever I have written the code, it is implementing the factory design pattern, because the additional class which is the name was factory class, it is really a factory class. Okay, so now it is implementing the factory design pattern. So now we need to learn something about the theoretical of the factory design pattern. So in the factory class, what we have done, we have placed the if else checking, and after checking we are creating the object of the corresponding classes. So it is using to create the object. So factory design pattern is the creational design pattern. Now it is an important question for any advanced interview room, because the question is asked by some interviewers. I have also listened about that. The question is, what are the advantages that I will get from the using of factory design pattern? Obviously, I am using the abstraction between the implementation class and the client class, and obviously it is provide an approach to the code that we need to use the interface. Okay, not the implement, because in the static main method I am calling the factory class. Okay, and we are just returning the object by the with the type of the used interface. So that is why we are using the interface, not using the implement. Okay, we are not using the three-wheeler car and two-wheeler car classes. Okay, we are using the type which is car, and that is why it is written here that we are not using the implementation, we are using the interface here. So it is another advantage. And the last is we are using loosely coupled. This is the advantages. These are the advantages that I will get from the factory class, factory design pattern. Okay. Now I will go for the code, because the previous one was an example and it was not a tested code. So now I will go for the code, that you can write down the code and you can test the code. Okay. So now here we can see we have an interface, it is type, and in the interface I have a method which is paint. Okay, and now we have we are implementing the three classes, which is rectangle, circle and square. Okay, and we are overriding the method paint, and for rectangle method, rectangle class, we are going to print the this is rectangle, and for in the circle method, circle class, we are going to print the this is circle, and in the square class we are going to print the this is square in the paint method. Okay, through the paint method. Okay, fine. Now I have the type factory, it is the factory class. In the factory class, what I am doing, I am checking the user input, and by according to the input I am checking the whatever I need to return the circle class object or rectangle class object or square class object, and if it is and unless it is I need to return the null. Okay, so this is what it is written in my factory class, and now what I will do, I will just call the factory class. Okay, because we will use only interface, not the implemented class. So I will just call the type factory class, and I will call the get type method, because in the factory class I have the get type method where I am checking the user input. Okay, in the get type method I am checking if the input is if the input is circle, then I will return the circle. If it is rectangle, then I will return the rectangle. If it is square, then I will return the square object. Okay, so now in the main method I am calling the factory class, and in the through the factory object I am calling the get type method, and in the get type method I am passing the user input, and then I will call through the get type method will return the type object, and through the type object I am calling the particular paint method. Okay, let's see the return output, and it is saying that this is circle paint method, this is rectangle paint method, and this is square paint method. So this is what the code example of the factory design pattern. So that is all about the factory design pattern. I will come tomorrow with the abstract factory design pattern. It is very easy. If you understand the factory design pattern, then abstract factory design pattern is very easy. It is just a wrapping with the abstract class, another abstract class. So I will come tomorrow with the abstract factory design pattern. Now I will request you to subscribe my channel. If you like my video, then please subscribe my channel.